Hi, everyone. Welcome to my home and welcome to Storytime with Spoons Across America. And me, Miss Clarice. Have you ever wondered how you get the ingredients in your soup? One of my favorite things to eat during the fall and especially during the winter is soup. So today's story is titled Who Grew My Soup? Written by Tom Darbyshire and illustrated by C.F. Payne. Are you ready for our storytime song? And it goes a little something like this. S-T-O-R-Y, S-T-O-R-Y, story, story, story. Boom. Now you're ready to listen and learn. Who grew my soup? A boy of age 10 named Phineas Quinn was playing out ball when his mom called him in. "It's lunchtime," she said. "Here's something nutritious." This instantly made young Finn Quinn most suspicious. "It's yummy," she said with a smile brightly beaming as she gave him a bowl of soup gently steaming. Finn looked down and thought, "Yuck! It's vegetable gunk. The foods I prefer are the food she calls junk. Fake colors and flavors, delicious and dandy. They're in all my favorite sodas and candy. Chemical additives? Yum! They're the best. The snacks I crave are preserved and processed. I like stuff that's deep fried and loaded with sugars. But vegetable soup? Yikes! I'd rather eat boogers. This looks too healthy. I bet it tastes icky." So Finn hatched a plan, and boy, was he tricky. "I'll eat it," said Finn. "Yes, I'll happily do it, as soon as you're able to tell me who grew it." "Like you always tell me," said Phineas Quinn. "Don't put that in your mouth if you don't know where it's been. These veggies might come from some weird far off land, like outer Bungonia or distant Tian. They might come from places like North Lost Mandu or Timbuktu Far or West Hinterloo." "Who grew these carrots? Who grew those tomatoes? These beans and this barley, this corn, those potatoes? Who sprouted this spinach? Who planted these peas? And who picked this celery? Tell me now, please. I'll not take one sip of this vegetable goop unless you tell me who grew my soup." Finn has lots of questions. While Finn thought himself oh so terribly clever, he never had given one guess next, never, ever. His eyes popped, his jaw dropped, he fumbled his spoon. From the sky came a flying tomato balloon. The pilot in goggles was shouting, "Hello!" from a rather large cooking pot hanging below. "Hop in, hurry up, climb aboard, tally-ho!" "Where are we going?" Finn asked, most alarmed. "We're going," the man said, "to where soup is farmed. I'm Mr. Matu, Chief Soup Supervisor, and we won't come back until you're super wiser. Our trip won't take long, not at all. No, indeed. This balloon can achieve supersonical speed." As soon as he said it, they flew away, zoom, with a whoosh and a whir and a big sonic boom. What an adventure. Finn summoned his courage. He took a look down and found they were already back on the ground. Finn met Farmer Hichner. Hichner met Finn. Mr. Hichner's the farmer whose field we are in. These carrots, this field, and this farm are all his. Hichner's a genius, a soup-growing whiz. What carrots? Asked Finn as he looked all around. They're down here, said Hichner. They grow underground. They grow in the dirt. Young Finn nearly gagged. Gee, I've only seen them in stores washed and bagged. Hichner took hold of a green carrot top, tugged, turned, and twisted and pulled it out. Pop. The most beautiful carrot the world's ever known. More perfect than any that's ever been grown. A superstar carrot. Mattu said, can't beat it. So here's an idea. I'll wash it, you eat it. Finn would rather get cooties, but being polite, he knew he had no choice. He must take a bite. So he tried just a nibble, the smallest of munches, and soon he was making great bunches of crunches. Hey, this isn't too bad. This carrot's incredible. It's sweet, what a treat. Say, this root is quite edible. There's something in carrots, said Mr. Mattu, that is good for your eyesight, amazing and true. I eat them quite often. My vision is great. So toodaloo, Hichner. Come on, Finn, let's go. I can see at this moment that we're running late. We've got more places to see where more soup vegetables grow. It seemed that no sooner that they left the ground, they'd crossed 17 states. Wow. And were dropping back down in a field of tomatoes all ripe, red, and browned. Finn, meet Farmer Perez. His thumbs are quite green. The tomatoes he grows are the best ever seen. This is delicious, nodded young Finn, as red, ripe tomato juice ran down his chin. Oh, good, super duper, cried Mr. Mattu. Superlative, come on, we've lots more to do. Farm to farm, field to field, whiz, 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 through the sky, from onions so fine they can make a man cry, to potatoes, to peas, in the blink of an eye. They stalked the best celery, they got to know beans, and met growers who know how to grow greener greens. Mattu, give a cheer at the end of the day. These farmers deserve a big hip hip hooray! They're all superheroes. They're all super great. They grow the best soup anyone ever ate. But it's time to go home now, said Mr. Mattu. You have your answers. My work here is through. And then just like that, Finn was back in his chair, and that big bowl of soup, steaming hot, was still there. Guess I'll have to try it, said Phineas Quinn. So he opened his mouth and he spooned some soup in. He swallowed, he sighed, he knew he'd been beaten. That soup was the best thing that he'd ever eaten. Finn said, Hey, how come we've never had this before? His mom, she just laughed and she served him some more. So if you're someone who thinks soup is scary, if facing a bowl makes you worried and wary, take some soup in your spoon, put the soup to your lips, And then say these words right out loud between sips. Who grew my soup? That's what I'd like to know. Who grew my soup? That's where I'd like to go. The end. What a great story. Today we learned that carrots grow underground, they're root vegetables, and we also learned that a lot of our food comes directly from the farm and then we're able to get it and add it to make things like soup. We'd love to know what you might be interested in adding to make your own healthy, nutritious, delicious soup. For more activities that correspond to this book or a recipe, go to www.spoonsacrossamerica.org. That's www.spoonsacrossamerica.org. Thanks for joining me today. See you next time.